so long that they are no longer connected to reality. And the rest of us are seeing if a bunch of psychopaths can finance at 0%, and you and I are subject to not only the constraints of the market, but the regulations and costs they load and pile onto us, then there's no way out. It's a little bit, Curtis Mayfield had a great song called New World Order where he said there's one way in and no way out. And that's what Geithner is giving us financially. He's giving us a financial... And they're hoping Northcom can protect them from us. Stay there.
This is an emergency alert. People don't die of H1N1 infection. They die from system-wide intoxication and toxic shock. Doctors call it the cytokine storm following infection and immune hyperstimulation. Vaccines with immune stimulants or toxic drugs chemicalize your body, adding to your death risk. Prevent death and reverse diseases from infections, vaccinations, and drug toxicity. Call this number to get my free special report about the flu and what to do to save lives, maybe even your own. I'm Dr. Leonard Horowitz. Order Zeolife, the world's most powerful broad-spectrum detoxifier, immune system guard, and vaccine cleanse. Avoid vaccinations and drugs. Use Zeolife and oxysilver hydrosol instead to detox and de-germ your body. Stop the shock of toxicity and preventable deaths. Call 1-888-KO-GERMS. That's 1-888-KO-GERMS. Or visit zeolife.net and oxysilver.net and order your free report and package special.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, it seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv.
On the average, Americans work between 45 to 50 years, hoping to build up enough wealth to retire and live out their golden years. Unfortunately, with taxation, the rising cost of food, energy, housing, and medical, many retirees are forced to live below the poverty line. Is this a flaw of free enterprise, or is our monetary unit we call the Federal Reserve Note forcing us into perpetual debt, ensuring inflation and higher taxes? These questions and more can be answered by reading G. Edward Griffin's book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. Congressman Ron Paul states it's what every American needs to know about central bank power. A gripping adventure into the secret world of international banking cartel. Hi, this is Ted Anderson. I will give a silver dollar from the early 1900s to anyone who purchases this book. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order a copy today. It's critical that the public be made aware of the system. Call and order your copy today at 1-800-686-2237. That's 1-800-686-2237.
This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill. Gun sales are on a staggering pace. Gun prices are going through the roof, and that means desperate, vicious criminals now want your guns and will do anything to get them. Now, a new book reveals powerful secrets for hiding your guns from thieves and looters. You'll learn step-by-step, battle-hardened techniques, where to hide your guns so criminals will never find them, how to create the perfect hiding place, as well as the places you should never hide your guns, under any circumstance. These and other closely guarded gun caching secrets are guaranteed to keep your weapons safe and out of sight when the going gets tough. But listen up. For security reasons, the Hide Your Guns book and even the website may disappear without warning at any time. Go to hideyourguns.com. That's hideyourguns.com. Or call 877-327-0365 before they come for your guns. Hideyourguns.com right now. Right now.
Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, they're trying to ram through government health care. The Democrats have now actually read it and discovered it's another bailout, another scam to the insurance companies owned by the banks. I want to get Catherine Austin-Fitt's take on that.
Also, they're now reporting hundreds of thousands dead in Haiti from the earthquake. Hundreds of thousands dead. I mean, they're talking about all Americans being naked body scanned and recorded, all courthouses having naked body scanners. They're going in all over the country. I found out 2 years ago, year and a half ago, Denver already had it. I'm kind of all over the map here. It's just crazy. Earthquakes kill hundreds of thousands, but we've all got to go through naked body scanners because somebody might blow an airplane up. Oh, men and women are fighting in France. 150-plus people kill each other a year. Well, let's ban arguing or ban marriage outright. You know, that's the mindset of these tyrants and how they're selling us on tyranny. They could care less about you and your safety. I've got a law enforcement article here where SWAT says options for multiple shooter tactics, says we've got to get rid of posse comitatus and put the army on the streets. Catherine, I'm all over the map here. It's just...
No. You know, because you're dealing, you know, you see it's like the Pillsbury Doughboy. You squeeze one place, it pops out another. And what you're seeing is the lockdown across the board. And it's, you know, it's coming in every direction. And, you know, whether it's the economic insanity and sort of the two-class system or it's the, you know, what they're doing is they're rolling out all sorts of different controls because they know when people figure out that our retirement system has been basically moved offshore and now there's nothing to, you know, to keep the commitments, people are going to get upset. And by that time, they plan to have the food system and the healthcare system and all these different systems under lockdown. To me, one of the scariest ones you haven't brought up yet, Alex, is the idea of sending over 1 million Americans around to collect all sorts of data on all of us. I'm sure have you ever had Edwin Black on the show to describe how the Nazis put together their original databases?
Yes, he wrote the book on IBM.
Right.
And yes, the census people are now telling people to tell them about their stocks and bonds and what type of toilet they have. And now TSA is just downloading a large percentage of people's computers without warrants and just saying we're keeping it. I mean, it's just wall-to-wall evil. Meanwhile, Geithner and others, who is most to blame in the criminal acts from your expert view? How do we get Geithner indicted? I mean, there's open talk of it happening.
Okay, well, here, you know, I think lots of pressure brought on. You know, this is a time when calls to Congress can make it and calls to the White House can make it very uncomfortable for the White House to not make a change here. But at the heart of this matter, if you really want to make a significant shift, what we're going to have to do is work at the state and local level, and let me describe why. Have you seen the governor of Arizona's State of the State address yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, it's fabulous. She just came out and she said, and this was on health care, she said there are 14 attorney generals around the country, state attorney generals, now working together to prepare, you know, real 10th Amendment arguments to stop the implementation of this health care reform. And if my attorney general won't join them, I will.
Wow.
Right. And where this is all going to come down, it's going to come down to 10th Amendment and where we can get a governor, an attorney general, and a majority of the sheriffs in a jurisdiction. Because you know, Alex, the sheriff is the most powerful, you know, I mean, the sheriff...
Elected representative in the county.
...more powerful than the military.
Yes.
So, you know, but where we can align the attorney general, the governor, and the majority of the sheriffs in a jurisdiction, that's what's going to happen, because the only thing that's going to stop this is when you say no. And when they say that, when they declare the 10th Amendment, that's when we're going to have an argument about the cash flows. Because you can't keep sending money to Washington if Washington keeps using it to break the law.
And it's not just Washington. We have international banks running Washington. I mean, we don't have our government.
Right. Congress is not in control. And so, you know, it's almost like we're at a party. Everybody's drunk. Everybody's stoned. Everything's out of control. Where do you build the power to say no? And ultimately what you're going to have to do is you're going to need a combination of two things. You're going to need a group of leadership, and it's going to come down to governor, attorney general, and sheriffs in a place.
You need the sheriff to show up and break up the party.
Well, they're going to have to say no, but they're going to have to do something else, because what the federal government has been doing to prevent them from saying no is trying to get them to be financially dependent.
Yes.
And, of course, the worse things get in the economy, we're in a downward spiral, and so we've got to reverse the economic spiral at the same time that you take a strong legal stand. And that's going to come down to the cash flows. And for years what I've said is, and you can do